Right, it's this again today, basically because I'm really trying to crack on with this, because I'm excited to see it finished. So I showed yesterday all the stitches around the outside edge, if you remember on my blog post, and I said there'd be more web stitches, so I've started that here, just in some of the spaces selectively. I've marked there, I'm started there, I've marked a space there, and I've marked it there, and I've marked it there. So, and I do think that that'll be enough, because because this is going to be a drawstring pouch, and I'm not necessarily sure that it'll do a lot of hand stitch, a lot of good, to be pulled up into that kind of form. So what I thought we'd do these days is just finish this web stitch. So I've done 2 here, and there's going to be a group of 3. So if I just finish this web stitch, then I want to put some more French knots in, like I've done around the edge, hugging up to the web stitches. So if I just finish this one, now I'm trying to think, I can see a mark on here that looks like it's had a pin in. I initially marked these spaces with pins and then came back and did it with a bit of thread. And I can see a mark that looks like it's a pin mark, which will come off when it's damp stretched. I'm not concerned about that. But what I'm thinking is, if I put this in the wrong place, but then I'm thinking, no, because even I'm not that dim. What's probably happened there, what that probably is where I put my needle in the work at some point last night when I was doing this, to just like I might have got up to put the kettle on or something. I'm struggling to see this, it's quite small, this one. So that's probably what that's from. If you can see it there. There must be a needle mark. And when I, like I say, I put it down, probably to put the kettle on. The kettle goes on a lot in this house. So I've got one, I'd say quite big one. It's not big, but it's bigger than the other 2. So I've got like one quite big one, then a medium one, and then this small one, which is proving quite tricky because it's a bit tight. I don't think I've done this for a while, a bit of stitching on video for my actual blog. I do it all the time in my classes, so now that's done now. So I'll just take that through to the back to fasten it off. I've already, in the spirit of Blue Peter, been prepared. Blue Peter and Girl Guides. If you're not in the UK, you might not know what Blue Peter is, but it's an old TV programme for kids where they used to make things and have things already prepared. I've already got my needles threaded with my colours and knotted them. So I want extra brownie points for that. So if I come up just there at the edge of that one, I mean, I'll do more French knots than you're probably going to see today, but so hopefully, I mean, it's not even nearly finished really, because the lining, like I said in yesterday's blog post, the lining will also be embroidered, and that's still to be done. And when this is finished, these extra web stitches in those spaces that I've marked out, it will need to be damp stretched, and then I've got to think about the drawstring and do all that, like the channel for the drawstring, and so still quite a bit of work to do on this. I'll do a lemon one next to them. So what I will probably do is I'll mirror what's happened around the edge. So if I fasten this off, then I can show you what's happened around the edge and explain to you what I mean by that. That's just one lemon one there. And I will do this. Doesn't matter to me, I don't have a problem with doing one French knot and then tying it off before I do another one. I like the ritual of that. So for example, around the edge, so there's a web stitch and they have 2 pink, 1 lemon, 1 green. So what I'll do here is 2 pink, 1 lemon, 1 green next to each of these web stitches. So if I do a green one now, if I can get over the end, then that's that first one done. So when I mean say first one, I mean the first web stitch has been adorned with French knots. Right, so what will happen next? So there's 3 by that big one. I'll probably do another 3 here and another 3 here, and then I'll repeat that in those other spaces that I've marked off. Then that's probably all the surface embroidery for this. And like I said, then I'll have to mark out my lining and do some embroidery in the lining, and then hopefully I can crack on and get this put together. I do like it, I like it a lot. Okay.